We're back on a Thursday evening. It is 8 p.m. It is Thursday. I am Nick. That is TJ. We're waiting on Anthony. He's putting the little kids to bed. You know, they can be troublesome at times, but he's doing the dad thing, the Mr. Mom thing, and we applaud him for the Mr. Mom because I ain't doing it. Golf clap, Anthony, Mr. Mom.
He's got a rubber booty. Oh, sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little under the weather. I got a little acheage and painage going on today. Apparently TJ's been sick since August and nobody noticed. I always assumed he had too much alcohol in his system for anything else to live in there, but you know what, sometimes you're wrong. You know what happens when you assume, right?
Yeah, you wake up one morning and you find a significant other dead. That's what my wife thinks is going to happen, but I refuse to go to a doctor because I ain't no bitch.
I ain't no bitch. Whoever's watching out there, we appreciate you. Shoot us a line, shoot us a little commentage if you're watching out there in YouTube land. Just shoot us a little hi there. How you doing? We
don't call me a bitch.
Call him a bitch. Do it now. The
I
phone
set
lines
myself up for that.
already. Hello? Yeah, TJ's a bitch.
Is that my dad?
So I don't even know where to start this week. Let's start. The Rangers are on right now. They're playing the Preds. They're down 2-0.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Rangers started off the season.
I thought you were gonna hit the promo.
Oh, you know what? I was
sick, waiting for it.
My bad.
Yeah, pretty uneventful first period. Rangers are losing 2-0, first intermission right now. The only thing I could say, they rushed the net on one of the goals, man. Like pretty much all up in the crease on us, and we just allow it to happen. Dirty goal, kind of just bonks in because they rushed the net. Not a big fan of allowing that to happen. I would have liked to see a response to that. And then right at the end of the period, Zibanejad has a chance to just walk in. He gets a nice feed, and he's above the hash marks. Gets a nice opportunity just to walk in with nobody in front of him, take a shot at the net, and he tries to pass. It's early in the season. They try to be very unselfish. New coach trying to, spread the love out there, I guess. But wide open opportunity, shoot the puck. I mean, and so far this season, it's been like a trade-off. We're in this rhythm of win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. Got to get out of it, man. You got to put a little win streak together. Keep the momentum flowing because win-loss, win-loss, win-loss doesn't get you shit. Definitely doesn't get you in the playoffs. Not in the Northeast Division where we're at with all the good teams. So we'll see.
That's true. Real quick before we continue, shout out to Arizona for keeping them 99 cents. It's been like 25 years and they're still 99 cents. God bless whoever the owner is of that company. A golf clap for that guy.
Oh, absolutely. He's not playing that Biden economics game.
I'll tell you right now, I went to a Salumeria, a deli for you people who aren't from New York. And they have cans that don't have 99 cents on the side, and they sold me a can. I realized after the fact for $1.29 or something like that.
Yeah, they black it in with permanent marker. That's bullshit.
No. They make cans that don't have the 99 cent logo on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? That's on you for going to Salumerias because I usually go to bodegas and they rock that 99 cent shit.
I went to get an Italian freaking sandwich, man.
No, listen, you go there for the sandwich. You got to expect the upper tier price on the Arizona. You know what I mean?
I don't. I'm never going back to that sandwich shop again. That's never going to happen.
Arizona there. You just get the sandwich and
no,
move
that's not the point. No. They're robbing us, T, and I'm not going to stand for it. Back to hockey. All right. I'll not stand for it. All right.
Is this a hill you're willing to die on? Arizona, 99 cents or nothing. Okay.
I will never eat an Italian sandwich again if it means that I'm not paying $1.39 for a fucking iced tea that should cost 99 cents.
Listen,
This
man,
is how we ended up paying 30 cents for fucking chewing gum. Now we can't even gamble. Who the fuck bet 6 cents? Let's like who bet 6 cents?
not gonna lie, nothing like a 6-cent parlay bet when you decide like, oh, you know what, I'm not gonna put money in this week, and you check your account, you're like, oh, I got like 6 cents left. All right, a 25 parlay. Oh, look, honey, I can make $1.6 million with this 6-cent bet.
Stop it. When was the last
Dude,
time?
honestly, every once in a while, I do like to go on Twitter and scan like sports betting. You know, you just throw the old hashtag in there, sports betting and stuff like that, or parlay, and you come up with some pretty wild scenarios where people figure out a way how to throw like $3 in, pick like 15 different things, or even like 4 games, dude. It'll be like the 1:00 games on Sunday, right? Like 4 or 5 games, and have like this same game parlays, like 5 different bets going in the same game for all 4 games matched together, 20 picks. And it's like, oh, hey, for this $3 bet, you can make $678,000. It's like, listen, while that is the craziest long shot ever, imagine being the guy to get that kind of wealth and buy yourself a house because you made a $6 bullshit bet. That's going to be a great feeling.
I mean, yeah, but
like I get excited when I go and get blackjack with $10 on there, and they slide over, 3 red chips, and I feel like I'm a millionaire. And everybody else is looking at me like, sir, get some money. Been sitting here all night just drinking mojitos and betting the minimum. Gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, dude.
Nothing wrong with mojitos.
Nothing wrong with mojitos. Rangers need to step up a little bit. I don't have a grasp of how I feel about Peter Laviolette yet, the coach. I haven't seen enough of, I don't know, no fire behind the bench yet. Cheers, brother. So we'll see. I do like the one thing that they're trying to implement is clog up the middle, clog up the neutral zone, try to stop the puck from coming into their zone, or at least not make it as easy to cross into our zone, across the blue line. Jam it up a little bit, get the puck moving around, maybe a bounce off a stick, and it's going back out the other way. I do like that tactic. I mean, we had the Devils do that shit to us in the neutral zone forever. So it's if we can make it work, absolutely. Panarin is hot start, even though I shit on him a little bit at the beginning, said I'd like to see more out of him because he had a dead postseason last year, and then the preseason wasn't looking good. But I actually like the bounce back, and I don't know, the accountability, but that's what he does. That's who he is. He's a regular season guy, and he'll put up 45 goals.
Whatever you do, don't turn around.
Like, I don't mean to shit on him. Like, we don't need him. We depend on it. We absolutely depend on it. He's the most consistent goal scorer on the team in reality, but then the postseason comes along and it's a huge letdown. And that's why it hurts so bad. You know what I mean?
Do you ever stop and think that, and certain players are kind of like that. A-Rod was like that. Do you ever think that maybe the reason that they get to the playoffs and struggle is not because they are not a clutch kind of guy, or they're just fucking tired from carrying the team for the whole fucking year?
Yeah, well, I mean, 2 years ago, we gave him the excuse because they said his wrist was frigged up, and obviously that'll affect your shots in a big-time way. So, but last year, there was none of those excuses, nothing floating out there that he's injured or anything like that. So it's a kind of hard pill to swallow when all you want to see is a New York Rangers championship, right? All you want to see is that cup getting raised in the Garden. And I don't know, at least A-Rod got it done once, right? If Panarin can get it done once here, I'll be ecstatic. I would. I don't care if the friggin' Jumbotron like fell on the opposing team during the national anthem in the Stanley Cup Finals and we won by default. I will take it. I am not petty. I am not greedy. I will celebrate that like it was the greatest cup win ever. Don't give a shit.
I'll take an asterisk cup.
Like, no problem.
Your name goes in the cup regardless.
Listen, if they were totally okay with a Canadian team making it to the semifinals because of COVID, right? And nobody can play in Canada up until the semifinals. Like, and they were okay with that. And yet they still didn't win a cup.
Maybe Canada did that on purpose?
Yeah, 100%. 100% they did it on purpose. Listen, They call it the Great White North, right? They don't like us. They don't like anybody with a little melatonin in the skin. We're a little too ethnic for them. They like it silky smooth white, like whole milk. It's a fact. Canada's like 96% white people.
Melatonin is something you take to go to sleep.
Melanin.
Melanin makes you.
Did I say melatonin? I meant melanin. Excuse me. Pardon me. There's a lack of melanin in my brain.
Oh man, that was good.
Dude. But that would have been the cheesiest thing ever if that it's been what 30 something years. I think the last cup win for Canada was the Montreal Canadiens in '86, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, sorry, 93.
Yeah.
My apologies. 93. So 93 was the last Canadian team to win a Stanley Cup. Their game, their sport. If they would have botched their way into a Stanley Cup that COVID year, I would have been pretty heated about it. That would have been really upsetting. I know the Paul Bissonnets of the world would have taken that for Toronto because they're just sad, and their NHL career was made up of 7 goals, 3 or 4 of which were just banked off their backside into the net.
Banked off the backside.
But yeah, dude, the Rangers got to get off the ground running. It's still early in the season. Doesn't really mean much right now, but you just like to see them string together a couple wins because the win-loss thing isn't working for me. I know it's not working for you, Nick. I know you're very upset that you saw them lose live.
Listen,
but it was preseason, so it didn't count.
It's 2-1. All right, they're 2-1 right now.
Yeah, and they're losing right now. So.
And they're losing pretty badly right now, 3-0 in the second period. The second period just started. Not something you definitely not something you want to see to start the season. 500. I mean, I guess the concept is it could always be worse, and that's true. It could be worse, but are we really looking at it? I hate looking at shit like that way. Like, let's go win.
Hold on.
I don't want to hear this. It could be worse bullshit.
Here we go. We got live coverage from Big Tom. He writes in, the Rangers fucking suck. This is why it's hard to root for them. The second goal was all Miller's fault. Made 2 bad passes, one before the goal and one that directly caused the goal. Bunch of see you next Tuesdays. Tough words, dude. Tough words from my dad, who is normally very, very mild-mannered and happy-go-lucky.
The guy gets a sticker with his face on it, and all of a sudden he's got harsh words to say.
Dude, man, if I send it to you, can you throw it up as a graphic?
I will absolutely. If you send it to me, I will absolutely throw that up. Yeah, definitely. Anything with Tom's face on it is gold to me.
So yeah, whatever. Rangers, step it up, boys. Come on, step it up.
It's early in the year. It's early in the year, and we've got a long way to go. But sometimes you start out hot and you just keep it for the season, or at least until the point where you start to struggle, or you start to, knock on wood, incur some injuries and stuff like that. Right. Sometimes the starting out the gates hot is what carries you to the playoffs. Yeah. I hope that we don't have to resort to that kind of shenanigans, but it is what it is, and there's never an opportune time to lose.
No. And especially it hurts even more when you see how much of the league makes it to the postseason in the NHL.
Over half the league.
If you're going to be on the losing end of that, like Islander fans know about this, they can attest to this, right? If you don't make the playoffs in the NHL, it's your fan base just like crumbles up and dies.
So this guy gets his own sticker.
He does.
And all of a sudden he's got a big I'm really digging that.
No.
I'm really digging that.
Here he is himself.
Big Tom says Rangers suck.
Yeah, listen.
It's early, Big Tom.
It is early, but I feel your pain. We were left with a bad taste in our mouth after last season. The Yankees fucking shit the bed, so we don't even have postseason baseball to root for. I'm trying to get into it, dude, because like a couple of these games are pretty sick. I'm kind of into the Texas-Houston series. I want to see Texas obliterate Houston. Like, it just needs to happen. The Phillies are doing their thing again, and just like, I don't know. It's exciting, but it's hard to watch when the Yankees aren't there.
So let's
and your franchise is just an abomination.
Let's talk about some baseball. I love it. So obviously our teams are not in it, but we're baseball fans. We watch baseball. We love the game. You know, it's different when you play the game, then you can appreciate it from a different level. And it's like hockey, right? Like I've played street hockey, you played ice hockey.
You
It's
saying I'm not from
different
the
when you
streets?
say again.
You saying I'm not from the streets?
No, I'm saying I couldn't afford skates.
That's not
but
true. I've seen you skate.
I rented my whole life until I was an adult.
Layaway, bro.
I rented my entire life. I never had. Yeah. I actually, this scar on my pinky right here, I don't know if you guys can see it. I had a little scar right there. That's from skating at Chelsea Pier and somebody skating over my hand.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also almost knocked my teeth out because you're like, hey, T, and you couldn't stop. You pulled a Luis Mendoza.
That's
I caught a face full of forearm and elbow.
It was just shoulder. It was all shoulder.
Speaking about faces full of forearms and elbows. Hey, Rook, what's up?
What's going on, boys? How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're on to baseball. We're done talking hockey right now. The season just started. There's not much to jive about. But there were a couple of things about baseball I did want to talk about. One of them, talking about the Phillies, and this has happened a little bit ago. This isn't recent. This is something that happened. Arcia talks shit to Harper.
Right.
Okay. The media reports something that took place in the clubhouse, right? The locker room, the clubhouse, whatever you want to call it. That is not said to them. It's said in front of them and it gets reported on, at which point Arcia comes out and says that, you know, that he doesn't appreciate them reporting on things that he didn't say to them, especially in the clubhouse. Cause he's like, that's sacred. It's not like I said it on the field. It was something I said to my teammate behind closed doors.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that? You know what? Let's let Anthony say. He's a lawyer. Let's hear what he's got to say about the sanctity of one's home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of eavesdropping. It's not really like it's not like rule against it. You know what I mean? Like
there is no rule against it. For sure, there's not a rule. But
if you wanted to do it in private, wait till the media leaves. Wait till the media leaves. I mean, excuse me. Obviously, the media, I think for them, they shouldn't report it, especially if it's not spoken to them. It's between the guys in the locker room. And clearly, they got back to Harper, and Harper wasn't happy. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it should have been said, but also if you really want to be careful about what you say around the media, then wait till they leave or say it quietly or say it away from them. That's it.
T, what are your thoughts?
So first and foremost, I think the access the media gets to the locker room is way too much because you don't have that moment of let's hash something out. You don't have even half a moment because they're itching to get in. I understand they have jobs to do, but I also live in reality where sports media in general, it's just a bunch of scumbag journalists looking to get up ahead and have something that pops in their article, regardless of who it defames or who you throw under the bus to do it. This team is in the middle of a World Series run, and now they have to deal with nonsense for something that wasn't directed towards them, but they felt the need to report on because they're scumbags. That's essentially what it is. Like, Nick, you work in a world, you're in the Army, where it's a brotherhood and sisterhood, right? And you all come together. Now, if somebody heard something amongst your team, if you're discussing something, you're going on a mission, you're doing drill that weekend, and something that was just discussed as part of whatever was going on or getting hashed out, if they then turned around and reported it to higher command, you'd be like, what the fuck? Right? Like that, a total sellout, a total abuse of the sanctity of like that group, right? But the media doesn't play by those rules. They're assholes. And if they have the chance to overhear something, they're going to run with it. So personally, I think the media should be limited. You don't get enough time to ask your questions. Too bad. We're literally fighting for our playoffs and a World Series. We're fighting for a championship trophy. So you can have 10 minutes to waste our fucking time to ask us, oh, you had 3 strikeouts today. How did that make you feel? What could you have done different? I don't know. Hit the fucking ball. Like,
pretty good, I guess.
Dude, we all know that it's just you're going through the motions, right? You're playing the game. You're placating them with their bullshit questions. When in reality, you just want to pull back and hit somebody. It's like, dude, did you really just ask me how I feel about striking out tonight? How I feel about not moving a runner over, not scoring somebody in an opportune moment? How do you think I felt? I felt fucking great. Like, it's just They're useless at this point. The journalists are fucking useless, and now they're interfering with a World Series run.
With regard to the comments being, said, I think that it kind of sets a precedent. Where is the rule draw? Where do you draw the line now? Like, at what point, as you as a reporter, do you just continue to? What if they caught Arcia saying like, I'm gonna bang that girl in the third row after the game? Do you report that too and ruin the man's marriage? Is that your place as well because it's news? Hey, did you see that girl with the big cans in the front row? Like, did you report on that too? And if it was me and I'm Arcia, I never speak to that. Whoever the reporter is that reported on that, I never speak to him again, ever. I'm like, no. And so, how do you feel about Arcia then walking back his comments? What are your thoughts about that?
You're in a tough place. Right? You shouldn't have to explain what was never meant to get out. You shouldn't have to comment on it or talk about it or walk it back. I think either way, you're in a tough spot and you're not going to come out ahead in it. Now you're just fighting for, I guess, saving face or just some semblance of like, all right, let's let this go away. We got games to win.
So
and
a lot of fans said, a lot of fans said that he was walking it back because at that point, he as Mike Piazza would say, awoken the beast. Let the beast out of the cage or something like that. Whatever, Mike, let the monster out of the cage. And now he's trying to, I guess, quell Harper. He's afraid of Harper getting jived up or whatever it is. Honestly, I thought it was more of a situation where it's like we're all baseball players, and at some point,
right. Media's not your friend.
At some point, I might be on the same team with Bryce Harper, especially in 2023 where players change teams every year.
Right.
And do I want to meet Bryce Harper for the first time wearing the same uniform? And he goes, yeah, fuck you because of what you said about me, talking shit 3 years ago. That might be some of the reason we don't see those heated rivalries that we once saw, because today he's your enemy, but tomorrow he's your teammate. And then what? Now you got to hash it out. We saw it with Garrett Cole and Josh Donaldson.
Right.
I mean, happy trails, Josh Donaldson. Nobody wants you anyway. But we saw that already with where Josh Donaldson gets traded to the Yankees after he talked so much shit about Garrett Cole. And now it's like, oh, okay, how's that going to work?
And let's call it what it is. It's the reality is you can't pull like something that you could have pulled in the 80s and 90s. If Garrett Cole walked up to Donaldson and punched him in the fucking face, he'd be like, yeah, I just cashed the check that you wrote fucking last year.
Right.
Enjoy it. You can't do that anymore because now you're the piece of shit.
Also, what I don't get is they do media sessions after. I thought they go off the table with the microphone and sit in front of the media and ask a bunch of questions. Why do you have to give the media access to the locker room and
I agree.
The table? It just doesn't make sense to me.
No idea.
I agree. I think once that they had the whole issue with female reporters bitching that, it was a boys club and they don't get to go in the locker room. I think they should have took that opportunity to say, you know what? Nobody really should be in the locker room. These guys are getting changed. They're relaxing. They're showering off. They're washing their asses. Why do you want to be in there? You want to smell smelly ass? Is that what you guys want to do? Fucking wait outside.
You guys seen Jerry Maguire, right?
Yeah.
There's a scene in Jerry Maguire where Rod's watching everybody get interviewed, and one guy's standing buck naked, and he's being interviewed by a female reporter, and she drops the microphone. And she's like trying to look away from his dick being in her face, but she's reaching for the mic at the same time. But the cameraman doesn't move. He's just like,
he knows his job. Dude, it's like the Replacements, right? Where what's his name? Reese Ifans is standing there.
Cheers, babe.
Cheers, babe. Ole, 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 ole. And a helmet and a jockstrap just grabbing his junk. Why would you want to be in that situation? Like, I don't understand. I get it. It's more candid. You can walk up to the player that you want to kind of essentially TMZ. That's what it is. That's what it's become. You can't wait to ask them something ridiculous, right? And it's unnecessary because you're not getting anything out of them. And like, at least make it entertaining. You need one guy in there like asking something ridiculous. Like, yeah, dude, you went 0 for 4 today. Do you have like diarrhea or something? Maybe you ate some bad food. Like, what was your pregame routine? What'd you eat today?
That's not as funny as you think it is, because one guy, I want to say it was Fukudome, actually did say that he had diarrhea, and that's why he didn't play that great that day.
It's a great excuse. Dude, you definitely don't want to be like running around out there and giving 100%, and then something slips. We're all wearing white pants, right?
Well, it depends. Are you the home team or are you the away team?
I would say why don't we get into the games, into the ALCS and the NLCS, see what's going on here. We got a 2-1 lead for the Rangers, and the Astros just came out strong here. Already put up 3 runs in the first. You got the Diamondbacks just walked it off against the Phillies, so that series now 2-1. So we got 2 series going on. Both of those games going to Game 3 with 2-0. So we got a series here, 2 series here. So it's
I will say I it's hard for me to get overly into the games because I don't have a dog in the race or in the fight rather. Well, can we say dog in the fight anymore?
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Fuck it, I'm going to say dog in the fight regardless.
You can say
Michael Vick doesn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a little hard for me to get into it that much, but I think the other reason that it's very hard for me to get into baseball when it's not my team is because of 3 true outcomes. Now, a lot of these teams don't play 3 true outcomes. The Rangers especially came out flat out and said, hey, like we're hitting line drives at the middle. We're not going for home runs. Right. And I think they're the darling this year. And if you notice, all the AL East teams play 3 true outcomes. Now, I think collectively they won 1 playoff game.
No, they won none.
They didn't win any.
No, the Rays got swept. The Jays got swept. And then the Orioles got swept too.
So they 3 true outcome baseball is boring to me. I don't like seeing it. I don't like watching it. I don't find it interesting by any stretch of the imagination, but that's Major League Baseball. The nerds got what they wanted, and it's just not entertaining to me. You want to watch guys the rules that they've changed in the game over the course of the last 15 years have just made it very, very boring. And then now with the length of games being shortened, I forget the game is even on, and by the time I turn it on, it's the 8th inning, and I missed it. And it's like, all right, whatever.
What pisses me off is, especially this time of year, right? The postseason, October baseball, the rules that they implemented have killed the energy, right? Dude, how exciting was it for somebody to break up 2 at second base? And like that visceral fucking dude, the shortstop staring down the runner like, you motherfucker. Like, I blame, dude, that builds the rivalry, right? Like this,
I blame
that
Ruben
gets your
Tejada,
blood
man.
pumping. Yeah,
I blame 100%. Ruben Tejada. He got hurt playing for the Mets, and Major League Baseball decided to fucking just change the rules because Ruben Tejada got hurt on national television. If he doesn't get, and I think that's another thing that really bothers me about pro sports in general is that oftentimes they will change the rules for one guy because a guy got hurt and he was either really good or he got hurt publicly. And we see it all the time. You can't collide with the catcher at home plate anymore. Why? Posey. Because Buster Posey got injured. If it was anybody else, and it has been many a player that has gotten hurt in a collision at home plate, it ruined Ray Fosse's career.
It was there.
It was Pete Rose drilled Ray Fosse in an all-star game, an exhibition.
An all-star game.
The game didn't even count. It was for fun. Ray Fosse had 0 fun that day.
Yeah, Pete Rose had a great time.
But we saw Francisco Cervelli, I want to say the year before, broke his wrist in spring training.
Yeah.
Because another guy on another team was trying to make a roster. Okay. And he broke his wrist, and that was pretty much the end of his season. I think he came back in like August.
Yeah.
But at that point, like the season's over at that point. So for me, I always feel like, listen, safety rules for certain things. I'll give the example. Breaking up a double play at second base. Blocking the plate at home plate. There's a really easy way for you to be safe. Don't do it if you're afraid of that contact.
Right.
That's it. Buster Posey never had to block home plate again a day in his freaking life, ever. He never had to do it. Hal McRae, is that McRae or McCary? Destroyed Willie Randolph at second base, breaking up. I remember, I know what you're talking about, Big Tom. I can't show the video, but I want to say Hal did not slide into second base. He tackled Willie Randolph somewhere around shortstop. Like that, it was Yankees versus, I want to say Royals, and Willie got taken out, and Willie got up. Didn't even try to start. I would have fought that guy over that shit. That was bad. That dude didn't even slide. He threw a hip check at second base. It was pretty bad.
But not for nothing with a sport that's so non-contact, like the little bit of contact that you are going to allow, you will immediately remove it. You know what I mean? It's boring now. They got their analytical way, right? Home run, strikeout, pop out. That's it. That's what you deal with on a day-to-day basis, game-to-game basis, and it's shit. I love watching somebody chug, dude, hitting one up the middle and then stretching a double play into a triple. Where the center fielder's like, oh shit, I got to test out the arm right now. Like, I love that. I love stretching plays. I love somebody just going there, like, at the plate deciding, I'm doing it myself tonight. And that gets the team going, dude. 100% it gets the team going. Yeah. When somebody's fired up, it's like, not that bullshit every time somebody gets a single or, dude, I hate when somebody walks and then, like, looks at the dugout and they're like, it's like, what did you do? The pitcher sucked.
You know what, though? I think it's the same. In baseball, I think it's more evident than it is in any other sport. But in baseball, people are forgetting what the point of the game is. The point of the game is to entertain. Everybody will sit there and say, the point of the game is to win. That's not true. The point of the game for one team is to win. Collectively, 32 teams want to entertain. Because if I'm not entertained by what you're doing, as a child, I will not play that game. I don't play soccer because I never found it entertaining at all in my life. There's a shit ton of running and you never score. Doesn't sound like anything I wanted to do as a kid. Never.
It is fun to play, though. Won't watch it.
Even playing, like baseball's hard for kids to get a wrangle on because you're successful 3 out of every 10. If you're great, 3 out of every 10 attempts, you're successful.
Well, and as a little kid, too, you're more interested in the offensive part of it, hitting, right? Than, like, I don't want to make plays. When you get older, it's like, dude, I just fucking gunned that dude out from shortstop.
Yeah, first absolutely. I loved, as an adult, I liked robbing somebody of a hit far more than I ever liked getting a hit. Only dude, because
anytime you get to lay out and get your clothes dirty, right? It's like, oh, wash this uniform tonight. And you make a snare grab, bro. Amazing.
For me, it was always like seeing the look of pure brokenheartedness on my opponent's face. You know, like I like the whole like Conan the Barbarian listening to the lamentations of their women while I kill my enemy and drink mead from their skull. Like that's what I want. So like robbing somebody of a base hit when he thinks, like, I'll never forget one time in a men's league game, my old high school coach was on one of the teams and he played that day and I robbed him of 2 base hits that he thought were base hits. I was recruiting at the time. The next day I go to his high school to recruit. And I go, yeah, hi, I'm here to see Mr. I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to embarrass him on the show, but I'm here to see him. And he goes, wait a second. And the security guard goes, I'm like, he used to be my old coach. And the security guard looks at me and goes, were you the guy that robbed him of 2 hits yesterday?
Big man.
That's how much I broke his heart. That's how much I broke his heart. That he went to work the next day and was like, this fucking kid I used to coach robbed me of 2 hits. That son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I didn't teach him to do that.
There's nothing better than laying out for a play and having like the other team and your own team go, that feeling is just, that's great.
Especially when it's like quiet, like especially one of those in-betweeners. Like I played second base, so in between second and right field. And it's like kind of quiet because like, oh shit, is he gonna get to it? Is he not gonna get to it? And then you hear like the thud of the chest hitting the grass. You got to turn around and show everybody. It's like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah, I had a play like that.
I love the battle between, like, because I pitched, the battle between the pitcher and the hitter. Dude, I love getting drilled on purpose. It made me so happy because it's essentially you're saying that you can't get me out. So you want to do something physically to me because I've bested you. Like, you remember we were in that playoff game, Nick? And I was
bested you.
I was 3 for 3. I think I had 2 doubles and a single, like 4 RBIs. And the kid just first pitch drills me high up on the back near the neck. And I just look at him and he's staring daggers at me. And I walk to first just doing this because we were smoking him by like 10 runs. Their season was over. And then the center fielder's like, hey, fuck you. He's flipping out. I'm just like, all right, what?
I want to say
and the best is the interaction with the first baseman after that. Because you're just standing there. It's like, yo, your center fielder's mad, bro. He's like, yeah, that kid's crazy.
I literally stood there because I was on second base. I moved from first to second after that. And I just remember looking at him and seeing him do this and just being like, this fucking asshole. Rook, you were saying about robbing somebody. Go ahead.
No, I had a play like that. It was bases loaded. The guy was a righty, tried slapping it the other way at second base, laid out for it. They didn't expect me because my size, I was quick like a cat on that one. And everyone was just like, oh, and everyone's like, second. And then I was able to double up a guy. So Nice turn, little bases loaded, 1-out situation into internet and play. It's great.
Our buddy John Jastrzemski went to a rival high school. So JJ After Dark, John Jastrzemski from SNY. He went to a rival high school, and I pitched that day. And I want to say my buddy Jimmy was on first. And at the time, I didn't know John. But we met each other later when we played together as adults. And I'm pitching, and there's a runner on first base. It's my friend Jimmy. And John hits a line drive back to me at first base at the mound, and I just catch it. And this was going to be his team's first win of the year. So I think they had bases loaded with, and I came in to relieve, bases loaded with 1 out. And he hits a screaming line drive right back up the middle, and I catch it, and I double off my friend Jimmy at first base, and they don't win the game. I think I don't think they won a game that season. It was going to be their first win. And I don't think that play ended the season. It didn't end the game, but it broke John's heart so much so that we met years later, and I was talking about my friend Jimmy, and he was like, I was the one that hit the line drive. It stayed with him like 10 years later. He was like, son of a bitch, that was going to be my first varsity win.
Dude, I still remember bad strikeouts. It's like,
But I digress. We move forward from baseball.
Wait. Quick question. Who do you guys want in the series? Who do you want to win?
Texas and Phillies.
I'm going to say Texas and Arizona because good things shouldn't happen to anything in Philly ever.
That's true, but I don't know. That team, essentially how they built that team to be like, try to start some kind of winning tradition in Philadelphia with the Phillies, because you got to remember, nobody gives a shit about the Phillies. Like, it's been a while. It's what the 80s is the last time the Phillies were really relevant.
Nah, they won the World Series
in 2008. And they lost to the Yankees in 2009.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that visceral. When's the last time you went to Philadelphia and anybody gave a fuck about the Phillies? I've been to Philadelphia, and during fucking the middle of baseball season, standing outside of Pat's Cheesesteaks, people are doing the EAGLES. It's like, yo, you have a team playing right now, baseball. Nobody cares? Okay.
That's because nobody cares about baseball, man.
Well, but that's what I mean.
Are the outlier.
Like think about it. In what was it? The Broad Street Bullies. You had the Flyers. That was huge in for that city, and then always the Eagles is their number one team. But I think it's nice to have a franchise kind of make a resurgence like that and become like part of the pop culture of the city. Even though I don't particularly like Philadelphia or their fans, but
that's true. But good things should happen in Arizona. Although I'm still not over the 2001 World Series.
Yeah, well, that's why I can't root for Arizona. I'm sorry.
I'm not over it. We needed it so badly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm with you, T. I want Texas Phillies. The Phillies team's fun to watch. Harper, Castellano, Schwarber. They're good players. They're fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Schwarber is not a good player. He bats 190 for the season. He is not a good player.
You're right. He's not a good player.
But he hits bombs. Yeah,
he
great.
Hits bombs. And
that's great. That's awesome. So does fucking Joey Gallo. He can't hit either.
Yeah, but it's the only thing he does. It's so funny.
You know, it's like the difference between being a thrower and being a pitcher. The difference between being a swinger and being a hitter. Schwarber ain't a fucking hitter.
I'll change my statement. Not good players, but players you could root for. I'm like, Schwarber hits bombs.
I can root for Schwarber because of that fucking flip out he had against Angel Hernandez.
Oh yeah.
God bless Kyle Schwarber for flipping out on Angel Hernandez.
Yep.
Fuck Angel Hernandez.
Dude, and I love how you can't, dude. We can't come together on anything, right? As like a group of people, as a country, right now. You got people
every baseball fan is saying "fuck Angel Hernandez."
Yeah, exactly.
One thing,
dude. Like, how amazing is that? Like, anytime I see a TikTok of like Angel Hernandez just absolutely sucking, or there's that Twitter account that tracks MLB umpires and the calls they miss and their percentages and stuff like that, and everybody's on the same page. It's like even pro-union guys are like, man, I like unions, but fucking Angel Hernandez is the reason why they suck. This guy should be fired. He tried to sue the MLB and then lost, and a judge literally was like, no, you're not good at your job. In the court of law, write that down, stenographer. You're not good at your job. You can't sue anybody. You're lucky to have a fucking job.
It's like that meme of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers with the two biceps.
Yeah.
And it says like your team, my team, and in the middle, fuck Angel Hernandez.
Yeah. Exactly. Dude, we're all on the same page. He needs to go, and he'll never retire. At least Joe West is gone. I'm sorry. I know Joe West was kind of loved, but towards the end, it was getting really bad.
I'll tell you right now, Angel Hernandez is a prime example of how unions are failing. Because me personally, I feel like if you're a union, I understand rights and all that stuff, but you should reserve the right to be like, well, if you make the union look bad, you're no longer a member of the union.
Right.
Like the union should have like an NFL thing where like conduct detrimental. They should have that. Like if you make the union look bad, here's your dues back. Goodbye. We don't want you anymore. You make us look bad.
There we go. A little life. Rangers score on a 5-on-3 power play. Power plays look decent so far this year.
It has.
We'll give them that.
Who scored? Was it Kreider?
Go look it up your fucking self. You got ESPN the app. God damn.
I'm watching the Jags game on my
I am too, because I turned on the Rangers and they gave up a goal immediately. So I was like, I'm bad luck, and I just turned it off because I care. But we move on.
I'll look up.
Whiskey of the week.
Yeah, make it quick, man.
Oh yeah.
Make it quick.
I know. You know what? It's we can't go quick on a bottle this nice, and I had to pick it up. I've been slacking a little bit with the bookers. I generally they come out with about 4 batches a year plus a little book, right? And last year, the clear winner was the Kentucky Tea batch, hands down my favorite bookers I've ever had. And then after that, it's been a lot of letdowns, but I heard good things about this. I had to try it, and I got to say I was upset and scared because I poured out my first pour of this last week when I bought it. Bought it for $99. Usually around here, the base price of Booker's is about $109 to $115 if you can find it. Found it for $99, and I was excited. So I give myself a pour when I get home, and it was like straight acetone. It was such a bad neck pour. It was just all that friggin' alcohol vapor stuck in there. And I got nervous. I thought it was going to absolutely suck. And then 2 days later, I gave it another try and loved it. On the nose, very bright with dark fruit. You get that barrel. It is a barrel proof. It is going off at, I want to say, 126.5. 1 second. 126.6. Age 7 years, 1 month, 10 days. So they're pretty damn precise on their aging. And a lot of people complain about Booker's because the age is only 7 years. I mean, you can sit there and get 10-year-old bourbons for $40, $50. But 7 years, barrel proof. Like I said, on the nose, you get a sweet dark fruit and then that barrel, that charred smell.
Let me guess. Caramel?
Vanilla?
Believe it or not, you're both wrong. The fruit pops in this, and it reminds me of the Jack Daniels single barrel proof.
Does the single barrel proof of Jack Daniels taste like caramel and vanilla?
No, it's very appley. And that's what this has.
Floral?
This has a little apple in there. Not fall. There's no cinnamon.
I said floral.
Floral. No. Not floral. A little spice though, maybe like a little allspice. So it definitely has like a little zing to it, right? A little allspice. Look out, clove maybe even, but very good, very sweet on the up front on the palate, and then pretty smooth finish. Nice Kentucky hug, little burn there. That 126.6 really comes through. But overall, I would say this is the best batch of the year for 2023. This is batch 3. This is the like I said, the Mighty Fine batch. So, cheers. What are you boys working on?
I'm drinking that Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea, and I'll tell you why. We didn't like it when it first came out, right? But as TJ will tell you, sometimes you pop a bottle open, and it lets some air in, it aerates, it gyrates, it motivates, and
ages a little bit extra.
It ages a little bit extra. It tastes a little different after the fact, and maybe you like it the second time around. And I will say this: it smells great. It really does. It smells phenomenal. This is Voyage 24 from Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea. Smells phenomenal. It tastes not good. I'll tell you that out right now. It tastes not good. It is not a good bourbon. I do not care for it at all.
You had me hooked. You're a dick. You had me hooked because like we were all sitting there that night at Rook's house like, yeah, this ain't great. How much you pay for this? Oh, man, what a ripoff. And I thought like, oh, shit. He's about to be like, yo, this is the greatest comeback story ever. I love this stuff. Brush my teeth with it in the morning.
You know what's better than the bourbon? That carpet in the basement.
I'm drinking Elijah Craig small batch. Very good. Very good.
But
listen, Elijah Craig small batch for $28. You really can't go wrong.
It really is. It's really is a good bourbon for a cheap price. I love it. I'm already done with the bottle.
I will tell you right now, this bourbon, if you want to dab a little behind your ears and get a DUI, it's great for that. It smells friggin' phenomenal. As
so you
far
can
as
rack
on
up a
your
quality
tongue,
DUI.
As far as on your tongue is concerned, I wouldn't waste my money. I think it's $70 a bottle, something like around there. I wouldn't waste my time or energy on that. I'll have a little something different next week. I got a gift for my engagement a couple of weeks back that I still haven't even broken open. I think I got a little Glenfiddich. Nice. And I'll share that with the group and let you guys know what the hell that's all about.
Well, the funny thing is, the night we did the whiskey night, you had Jefferson's Ocean, I got the regular Jefferson's, and like it was pretty much the exact same. Like we were just like this.
They took regular Jefferson's and they put it in on a boat, and they were like, "Here you go, guys."
Yeah, there's no like nothing to it, and it's expensive. It's not like a cheap whiskey either, and it's just not worth it. Like so,
I didn't know that Big Tom even drank at all because I've never seen him drink.
Big Tom drinking Stella Cold Crisp and does the trick. Well, you know what, dude?
That should be a new tagline for Stella.
Yeah, dude, we should have our own program. Tom Doyle, Town Drunk, just zinging in there. Like, what is he drinking? Just cut away.
Really should,
dude. Honestly, I will say this: you want to see my father drink. And not heavily either, but like let loose a little bit because, like you said, my father generally doesn't drink. If you bring him down to Atlantic City, right, hang out on the casino floor with him, especially at Oceans. Oceans Casino is his favorite casino down in Atlantic City. Oceans is throwing it out there in case you want to sponsor us. I'll take some free stays and credit. Dude, my father, if he sees a waitress walk by and we're all hanging out, he'll be like, "Oh, excuse me, yeah, a couple shots of Jameson." Throw like a $10, $20 bill down. They come right back. And then we just start the party. It's either me and my brother. Like, yeah, one more round, another 20. One more round, another 20 on there. And the next thing you know, my brother's trying to climb onto the craps table. My father can't see the dice down at the end. It just gets crazy. But it's honestly, when my father drinks a little bit and lets loose a little bit, it's always a fun time. Especially the faces he makes as he gets to like his third shot of Jameson. It's just like, fuck. Yeah, it's good.
Your father is a gentleman, and I just want to
town drunk, right?
Before we move on to football, as we end our show, your dad drew me on to Piece of Cake on New Dorp Lane, and I got the chocolate. I don't even know what it's called, but it's fucking delicious. I took it to my in-laws' house. They fucking loved it. That cake, oh my god! Once it hits your lips, it's so good. What
is it called?
The place is called Piece of Cake. It's owned by Cake Chef.
Oh, I was like, you had a piece of cake, but what's the cake?
The cake is called chocolate something, and they put like, I don't know what's on top. It's a ganache or something like that. I don't know what it is.
Ganache.
It's like, it looks like ice. It's that shiny. And
where's it located?
It's on New Dorp Lane.
Okay.
It's the place that has the I-beam sticking out of the front with the guy sitting on it like, hey, how you doing? Fine, how are you?
I haven't been in New Dorp Lane in years.
God damn it. You are the worst. But long story short, that cake, it looks really heavy. It is the lightest, most delicious cake. I'm not a chocolate guy. I'm a cheesecake kind of guy because cheesecake is generally fluffy. It's a little heavy, but it's fluffy. That cake's freaking delicious. I'd walk through a lane right now to go get that cake. That cake.
Drop the name so we can know what it is. Maybe I'll stop in.
Big Tom says his wife Diane should get the credit.
Oh, we need a name though. We need a name in that cake.
That cake, you'll see it when you go. You'll see it. It's amazing. I don't know what to tell. I don't know what it's called. It's friggin' incredible. I think it's just called chocolate cake. It's incredible. It changed your life. But I digress and we move on. We're gonna go talk about a little food. And JETS, it is. I don't know about the Go Big Blue. I don't think anybody's ever said that in the history of mankind, but
I hate it so much.
JETS, Jets beat the Eagles on Sunday. First time in franchise history, the New York Football Jets beat the Philadelphia Eagles ever. Okay. And they do it with bone-breaking, back-breaking defense. Jalen Hurts has 4 turnovers? Chocolate mousse cake. I don't know if that's what it's called, Big Tom. It's a delicious cake, but I don't know if that's what it's called. I feel like it's called triple chocolate cake or something like that because it's like chocolate cake with like a chocolate layer of something moist. I don't know. And then that chocolate like ganache on top. I don't know what it is, but it looks like ice. That's how shiny that top layer is. You would think it was marzipan or something, but it's not. It's some chocolate deliciousness. I don't know. And it's a perfect circle.
For our purposes, I think we just refer to that cake as the chocolate 3-way.
The what?
The chocolate 3-way.
Sounds delicious. Amazing. I would have that. But I digress. Back to the Jets. Jets beat the Eagles. Jalen Hurts turns the ball over left and right. I want to say he had 4 turnovers. Jets down Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. And you know what? Bryce Hall's back, right? Is the Hall monitor back? I think the Hall monitor is back.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've been waiting all week.
Tay James is back there playing. Who is that? I don't know. A guy that played great against the NFC champs.
I've been waiting all week to just rant on this a little bit.
So what we're going to do is we've got 9 minutes left to talk about this, all right? We're going to talk about this very briefly, and then we're going to come back. All right? And we're going to talk about it again. We're going to post a little football blurb.
So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, just bullet points. Number 1, Mark Sanchez is a goddamn disgrace because he was blowing smoke up Jalen Hurts' ass all night. The guy's getting intercepted left and right by everybody. I'm pretty sure 2 fans came out of the stands and had an interception against him. Okay, and all he's doing is like, oh man, when he stretches out a play with his legs, there's nobody better. It's like he got picked off 3 times so far in the game, and you're still kissing his ass, and you refuse to say a single good thing about Zach Wilson. Okay, number 2, Zach Wilson once again had a hell of a game, dude. Okay, a grinded out, extra effort, gives a flying fuck, right? You want a player that gives a shit, and he gives a shit. Wants to win that badly, where he's making it work. Didn't think he was going to be in a starting position this season. Guess what? Next man up. You're our guy. Struggled a little bit in the beginning, and then grinds out a win. We should have beat KC, but Taylor Swift, refs, right up the ass. Okay, it is what it is. But I'm not trying to make an excuse, but we played good enough to beat Kansas City. Okay, we beat Denver. That really wasn't a challenge, but for this Jets team, everybody doubted us, whatever. And then we go out and beat the Eagles. I fucking told you at the beginning of the game that the Jets were going to win. I felt it. Okay, because they give a shit. Dude, this defense gives a shit, and they play their heart out on a game-to-game basis. And the offense is sitting there together with Zach Wilson saying, yo, it is what it is. Let's make it happen because nobody believes in us. And yet still, the very next day, you got people like Sal Licata saying the Jet fans are fucking stupid. They're out of their mind. They don't know what they're talking about. This team is in shambles. It's a joke. What are you watching, dude? Because this is the most excited I've been as a Jet fan in years, dude. In years. It's exciting to watch. I look forward to the games because you know what? Listen, there was no shoo-in that Aaron Rodgers is bringing us to the promised land. It wasn't guaranteed that this guy was going to deliver 15 wins in 17 games, right? Especially with the struggles the O-line has sporadically throughout the games, right? And Zach Wilson is stretching out plays, using his legs, making it work, throwing nice passes, dude. He's not the same guy we saw last year with these ill-timed plays, throwing behind receivers by 3 feet, getting intercepted left and right. All right, he's working with a new offense. And again, we discussed this while we were watching the game. I'm not a big fan of the play calling, especially in the red zone. They don't take advantage of what they have. You'd think they'd screen pass it to Breece Hall and let him stretch the legs out a little bit and try to make some kind of play.
Play action bootleg.
Just anything with just a little flair to accent somebody like Breece Hall and the legs, right? Nothing. They're running either spread formation, nobody in the backfield, or, yep, we're running it up the middle and this is what we're doing. And yet they still find ways to manufacture a win, and I absolutely love it. And to have the New York media then still shit on them, go fuck yourselves.
There's still fans shitting on them, but we're gonna get back to the Jets in our post because we're gonna do a little football segment this week. We got to put some content out there. We've been a little bit slacking since I got engaged. We just haven't done the diligence that we deserve.
I will not let you try to blame that shit on Meredith.
It's not on Meredith. It's on me. I've been busy. But Rook, let's talk about the Giants.
Hey, Meredith, I don't know if you saw. Are we going to Liberty Science Center this year for the beer fest? I just got the. Never mind.
Oh, don't do that.
I love you, Meredith.
Look, the Giants played. I thought the Giants played a half decent game with Tyrod Taylor. Talk to me.
I think we're out of time. So we'll see you guys next week. We'll talk.
Wow. Oh, stop it.
No, we still got 6 minutes, baby.
Got 5 minutes. Talk to me about the Giants.
The 1-5 New York Football Giants. It's been a rough year. Yeah,
they played the football Giants.
I said New York Football Giants. Yeah.
Are you sure they're the football Giants? Because I haven't seen much football.
I haven't seen it either. They haven't scored a touchdown in the first half all year, which is actually really bad. They haven't scored a touchdown in like 4 games, I think.
That's some jet shit.
It's been really rough this year. I would say the defense played really well this week. Bobby Okereke was awesome.
I agree.
He was incredible. Micah McFadden might be a little surprised there this year. I think he's had a couple. I think he had a fumble. He had the interception too. So he had the 2 turnovers this week. He's been playing out of his mind. He played well in the other game. I think in the Cardinals game too, and they came back. He was huge in that one. I think Tyrod. People are saying Tyrod wasn't that great. But he did the job, and he did the job that Daniel Jones hasn't been able to do. He was pressing the ball downfield, attempting it. At least took care of the football.
Hold on.
That's important.
Any Giants fan saying Tyrod Taylor didn't do great, okay? Tyrod Taylor got sacked 3 times for 15 yards against a Bills defense that has Von Miller on it.
Yeah.
If you're a Giants fan and you think that Tyrod Taylor wasn't an upgrade over Daniel Jones on Sunday, just simply because he only got sacked 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that the offensive line played better. Did they? Did they play better, or did their quarterback just not get fucking sacked?
I just think he was more elusive than Daniel Jones is. That's all it was. And right now, that's what kind of player we need. I'm not saying is Tyrod the answer over Daniel Jones in the future? No. But the way the offensive line is shaking up, first of all, we had another injury today. LeMahieu's out Lemieux is out for the rest of the year. And that's their 7th injury to the offensive line. I think 3 of them into IR. Andrew Thomas is looking better. He should be coming back by the Jets game. But, I mean, the offensive line is not looking great. You need someone who's to be elusive to avoid the sacks. And right now, Daniel Jones isn't getting it done. And not even that. Tyrod Taylor pushed the ball downfield.
He did.
Bro, you guys were in the game. Downfield. You were in the game.
We were in the game.
It's more, this is the most you were in a game all year.
Oh, yeah. And
against the Bills.
Against the Bills is a top team right now. And the thing is, too, they were talking about, he checked down to the run. All right, yeah, we get it. That was a stupid mistake. But, everything else he did was pretty on point. And I'm not advocating that we're not going for Daniel Jones at all. We're not going back to Daniel Jones. We will eventually. But right now, what his team needs is someone like Tyrod Taylor. And that's
here's the problem, right? Here's my point of view on I'm not a Giants fan by any stretch of the imagination. You guys don't have a fucking wide receiver. Not one. Oh, yeah, I don't give a shit what anybody says. All of your wide receivers are wide receiver 3 on most teams in the NFL.
I agree.
They're at best number 2. You don't have a number 1, a clear-cut number 1. Your clear-cut number 1 wide receiver is a tight end
who's been hurt.
I mean, and the question mark is he the number 1 wide receiver? Is he a great tight end because of the system that he was employed in, or because of the talent? I think at this point it's getting to the point where it's it might have been the system. It may not have been him. I'm not saying he doesn't have talent. He does, but he needs complementary players to put him in a position to be open, right? And as I said, it's real fast.
Good.
I mean, Tyrod Taylor, 3 sacks for 15 when your quarterback last week had 9 sacks on his ass, something like that, something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get back into it. We're gonna do a quick segment after this. Our show's coming in. We got a minute left.
Wait, I have one point to make about Darren Waller.
Make a pick, but real fast. Do it.
He may have seen his only championship in New York last night when his wife won the WNBA championship against New York Liberty. Just to be honest, I don't think
that's phenomenal. I didn't even know they were playing the WNBA championship last night.
I know they still had a league.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. We'll catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
still live.
We're still here. Everybody
Still
go
live,
home.